Hi everyone, this is Sandra speaking, and today I would like to introduce you all on my design. Before I move on to my design, I would firstly like to tell you about my project one shortly. So my project one is that I have chosen is theme one, and that is geological. This study is about the geological features of below the ground level of the tin mining before and after activities. So this theme will be joined up to my project three, which is my design. So now I'll move on to my project three, that is the design realization. Firstly, the given site is located at Tanjung Tualang. As we all know that Tanjung Tualang is well known because of the TT5 tin dredge. Therefore, to remain this fact, I propose an idea on creating something that people would enjoy and have fun while learning about the history of the tin dredge as well as tin mining of the site. My proposed design building would be called as the Museum Arc. The reason why I named Museum Arc is museum, as I mentioned, learning. I want people to learn about the history of tin dredge as well as the tin mining of the site. And arc is a meaning of a huge boat, which also resembles TT5. Therefore, this museum arc also has another meaning on creating this name, is that the location of this site. At first we were given a massive, huge site, and we were asked to choose on where to locate our design building. Therefore, my chosen area would be beside the TT5 tin dredge. Here is the TT5 tin dredge, and here is the museum arc located. My idea is to let people pass through into the TT5 tin dredge to let them experience what is going on inside the TT5. And then after passing through inside there would be a pathway here, which would lead you to the location of the museum arc, which is located here. Moving on, now I'll be explaining on what leads me to this proposed design. The first thing of my overall process is to know what was the problem in the site. What I have found out is that people would be bored walking around under the hot weather, and nothing in the surrounding except for TT5 tin dredge, which also has a massive empty land surround the TT5 tin dredge. It has a beautiful scenario, but that is just it. And so it is also has a, due to this less attraction, it also may lead to less visitors, and for those who came, may actually end up leaving this place without much knowledge about the tin mining and the tin dredge history, as well as leaving without any memorable memory nor enjoyment. After knowing this problem, my next move would be the choices on the target users. Most locals and students were likely to visit in TT5 before, right? So therefore, right now the new target user of my design proposal would be the tourists, mainly the families as well as the children and teenagers. So based on these target users, my next move is I've done a research on the microanalysis of the nearby station airports to the site. So the nearest station would be Batu Kaja, which is around 14 to 18 minutes to the site. And the furthest one is the Ipoh station, that takes around 39 to 42 minutes. Therefore, my main target user dimension was the tourists, right? So nearby hotel is needed in this research. So the nearest hotel would be around 11 to 17 minutes away from the site. And the furthest one I could find around the arc of the site is around 26 to 31, 38 to 43 minutes away from the site. And most importantly, if there are people who got injured or have accident, or there's a fire that happened, there is a nearby clinic that I found. The nearest around the site is around 4 to 6 minutes. That is called the Chandranggura Clinic. And then the Batu Gajah Fire and Rescue Station, that is around 14 to 18 minutes. And the nearest hospital that I could find is in Batu Gajah as well, which is 16 to 20 minutes away from the site. Moving on is the program. After knowing the problems, the next move would definitely be the program, right? So the program is designed based on the overall process. The very first overall process, which is dimension, the problem, and moving is the target users, right? So this program, it has a story, is that this block over here is the office and the meeting room for this stuff. And then beside it is the lobby. The lobby will then lead you, this is the lobby, will lead you to the underground museum gallery, and then you will go through the underground and then go back to the ground level, this block. This block is the photo taking sessions. Then you will go back to the underground, here, this block, the next block, the underground museum again, and then moving on, going back to the ground level, that is the last stop, which is the workshop. So the beginning that I mentioned, this process is from lobby, right, to the museum, right? This museum is actually the beginning of the whole process, is the introduction of the mining history and the TT5 history. You then moving to the ground, which is the photo taking section, right? This photo taking section will actually lead you to, will actually let people visualize the after and before mining photo taking session. And then next is another underground, that is the museum. The next museum is actually tools, the process of what tools were used to dig, and what material or tools used to make the tin ore. And then back to the ground level, the next is the workshop that I mentioned, the last stop. This workshop is to let people make something useful out of the tin material. So, and then this block also has a souvenir shop inside here. So this is the overall building process. And then there is also staircase. The lobby here, right? I mentioned this lobby. There is two staircase beside the lobby, which is the outdoor. One staircase is leading to the roof garden, also known as the park, where people can have yoga or they can do some joggings. And on top of the underground level roof, there is a trampoline where people can jump up and down as an activity. And then another staircase which will lead you to the underground level, which is the cafe. And beside it, as you can see here, is the entire landscape where people can have picnic and hangout area. Okay, so moving on, I would like to tell you about the form development. The form development is the process and making here, this form development. The form development of my building is the idea of the activity of tin mining, the idea of a flat land here, the flat land while the miners dig, and then it came out in a natural form of the underground form. As you can see, from ground to underground and then back to ground. So this is my idea on the form and design as a long building was because of the process that I wanted to create from museum back to ground of photo taking session, and then back to underground again, another museum, and then back to the ground level. So this is the overall process that I have proposed on this building. And then moving on, I'll explain the lighting, natural lighting. So natural lighting, I'll be proposing using the solar funnel technology. It is designed for underground or the sub-underground to let natural sunlight in. This is called the solar collection dish. It follows the path of the sun, as you can see here. It follows the path of the sun and then collects the sunlight and will then flow through this tube and reflect to the dome where the natural sunlight enters to the interior spacing. So this is my proposed idea for this, for the natural lighting. Moving on is the ventilation. Based on the ventilation, my entire wall material would be called the ram earth construction. This has actually, it can provide a good indoor air quality. Just like without aircon, you could actually feel the warm breeze, cool wind, and the walls are thermally insulated, durably the room temperature, and termites cannot eat it up due to its earthquake proof. So therefore, this material actually has strength, has good strength, has a good sustainability, and is breathability. So this is my overall this proposed design idea. And then next, we'll be showing you a video of my building to let you visualize how the building looks like. Okay. Okay, so this is the end of the video, and thank you for listening.